And now, my friend, there is one final shift you must make. You have learned that your dream life is not created by wishing harder. It is created when your choices begin to match the person you want to become. Maybe you have spent years waiting for confidence, permission, money, support, or the perfect moment. But what if the perfect moment was never coming? What if the moment you have right now is the doorway you kept asking for? Think about the person you could become 12 months from today if you stopped delaying your own life. You could speak better English, you could build a useful skill, you could save money, you could start a small project. You could become healthier, calmer, and stronger. None of these changes require you to transform overnight. They require one honest decision, followed by another and another. This is where the story changes. You stop asking, when will my life change? And start asking, what can I change today? That question gives your power back. You may still have fear. Take the step anyway. You may still feel uncertain. Learn anyway. You may still fail. Begin again anyway. Courage does not mean feeling no fear. Courage means refusing to let fear make every decision for you. And remember something important. Your dream does not need everyone's approval. Some people will understand you later. Some never will. You do not need to fight them. You simply need to keep walking. Protect your peace. Protect your attention. Protect the small belief that says, my life can become better. That belief may be tiny today, but if you feed it with action, it can become stronger than your doubts. Here is another turning point. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation visits and leaves. Discipline stays when motivation disappears. On the days when you feel excited, work. On the days when you feel tired, do a smaller version. On the days when you fail, learn. The goal is not to win every day. The goal is to refuse to disappear from your own life. One day, you will look back at this season and understand why it had to happen. The rejection taught you strength. The delay taught you patience. The lonely nights taught you independence. The mistakes taught you wisdom. Even the people who walked away may have created space for better people to enter. Nothing has to be wasted if you learn from it. So take your past and turn it into fuel, not a prison. Take your pain and turn it into compassion. Take your fear and turn it into movement. Take your dream and turn it into a plan. Then take that plan and give it your time. Your future is built from ordinary days. There will be no dramatic music when your life begins changing. Most transformation will look boring. Reading one page, practicing one sentence, saving a little money, taking one walk, saying no once, waking up and keeping one promise to yourself. These small actions seem invisible, but they are building a new identity. Eventually, people may ask, how did you change so much? You will know the answer. You changed because you stopped abandoning yourself. You kept showing up. You kept learning. You kept believing. And you kept moving even when nobody was watching. So, tonight, make yourself a promise. Do not promise that you will become perfect. Promise that you will become faithful to your growth. Choose one goal. Write it down. Choose one daily action. Put it on your calendar. Remove one distraction. Protect 1 hour for your future, then repeat tomorrow. You do not need to see the entire staircase. You only need to take the next step. My friend, your dream life is not waiting for a different version of you. It is waiting for the version of you who decides to begin. You are allowed to begin small. You are allowed to begin scared. You are allowed to begin late. You are allowed to begin again. But begin, because someday the person you become will be grateful that you did. And when that day comes, you will understand the greatest lesson of all. Your life did not change because someone rescued you. It changed because you finally decided to participate in your own future. So lift your head, take a breath, and choose your next step. Your story is still being written. Make the next page stronger than the last. Keep learning, keep growing, keep moving, and never forget, the dream you protect today can become the life you are proud to live tomorrow. Do not let another year pass while you are waiting. Start today. Trust your progress, honor your effort, and become the person your future self will thank you for becoming. The second turning point begins when you realize that the old version of you cannot build the new life you dream about. You may not notice it at first, you simply feel restless. The things that once excited you no longer satisfy you. The people around you may not understand your new goals. Even your own mind may ask, why are you changing? This is where your story begins to change. You stop trying to return to who you were and begin building who you are becoming. Change can feel uncomfortable because your old habits know exactly how to keep you safe. They whisper, stay here, try tomorrow, do what everyone else does. But your future speaks differently. It says, take one more step, listen to that voice. Your first responsibility is not to impress people, it is to become trustworthy to yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. If you promise to study English for 20 minutes and you do it, you teach your mind, my word matters. If you promise to exercise and you show up, you become stronger than your excuses. If you promise to save a little money and you protect it, you begin thinking like a person who controls their future. These actions may look small, but identity is built through repeated evidence. You become what you repeatedly practice. Here comes the third turning point. Stop asking whether you are talented enough and start asking whether you are willing enough. Talent can give someone a head start, but willingness keeps a person moving when the excitement disappears. Think about two learners. One understands quickly, but practices only when motivated. The other learns slowly but practices every day. After 1 year, who has changed more? Usually, the consistent learner. Progress does not always reward the fastest person. It rewards the person who stays. So, if your English feels weak, keep speaking. If your business feels small, keep improving. If your body is not where you want it to be, keep training. If your confidence feels low, keep taking brave actions. Your current level is not your final identity. It is simply your starting point. But there is another danger: becoming addicted to preparation. Some people spend months watching videos about success, buying notebooks, making plans, and collecting advice, but they never begin. Preparation feels productive because it is comfortable. Action feels risky because it can expose your weaknesses. Here is the fourth turning point. Replace endless preparation with imperfect action. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a direction and a first move. Open the book, record the video, send the message, apply for the opportunity, practice the skill. Ask the question. Your first attempt may be embarrassing, but embarrassment is temporary. Regret can stay for years. Imagine an older version of yourself looking back at today. What would hurt more? Making a mistake or never trying? For most people, the answer is never trying. That is why you must become willing to collect mistakes. Each mistake gives information. Each failed attempt shows you what needs improvement. Failure is not a final judgment. It is feedback. This does not mean every dream will happen exactly as imagined. Sometimes the path changes. Sometimes the goal must be adjusted. Sometimes a door closes because another direction fits you better. The fifth turning point is learning to separate rejection from identity. Someone saying no does not mean you are worthless. A failed application does not mean you are incapable. A low view count does not mean your message has no value. A difficult season does not mean your life is doomed. Never turn one event into a permanent story about yourself. Say, that did not work, instead of, I cannot do anything. Those sentences sound similar, but they create completely different futures. Protect the language you use with yourself. Your mind listens. When you constantly call yourself lazy, stupid, unlucky, or weak, you begin acting from those labels. Replace them with honest, useful words. Say, I am learning. Say, I am improving. Say, I made a mistake and I can correct it. This is not pretending. It is training your mind to search for solutions instead of surrender. Now, imagine a young man named Daniel. He worked a simple job and dreamed of creating an online business. Every night, he watched successful creators and compared himself with them. Their cameras were better, their homes looked better, their numbers were bigger. He felt behind. One evening, after another hour of scrolling, he closed his phone and asked himself a painful question. Am I building my own life or only watching other people build theirs? The answer changed his next morning. He chose action over comparison. That choice became his sixth turning point, and it can become yours too, starting today. The seventh turning point arrives when Daniel understands that his biggest competition is not another creator, another business owner, or another successful person online. His biggest competition is the version of himself that keeps choosing comfort over growth. He stops checking other people's numbers and starts measuring his own progress. Yesterday, he could not speak for 5 minutes, but today, he can speak for 6. Yesterday, he knew nothing about design, but today, he understands one new skill. Yesterday, he saved nothing, but today, he protected a small amount of money. These changes look tiny, yet they are proof that his life is moving. And that is the lesson you need to remember. Never disrespect small progress. A mountain is climbed one step at a time. Your dream life will probably not arrive in one dramatic moment. It will arrive through hundreds of ordinary decisions that nobody notices. Then, another turning point appears. Daniel realizes he must protect his attention. He used to begin his morning by checking messages, watching random videos, and comparing his life with strangers. By the time he finally started his work, his mind was already tired. So he creates a simple rule. His first hour belongs to his future. No unnecessary scrolling, no pointless arguments, no checking what everyone else is doing. He reads, practices, plans, and works. At first, this feels difficult. His hand still reaches for the phone. His mind still wants easy entertainment. But every time he chooses his goal instead, his self-control becomes stronger. You can do the same. You do not need to disappear from the world. You simply need to stop allowing everything in the world to control you. Your attention is valuable. Spend it carefully. The ninth turning point comes when Daniel learns that saying no is not selfish when you are protecting something important. People invite him out. Friends ask him to waste another evening. Some even tell him that he has changed. They are right. He has changed. But change is not betrayal. If your old lifestyle is taking you away from your future, you have permission to leave it behind. Say no to unnecessary distractions. Say no to people who constantly make you doubt yourself. Say no to habits that steal your energy. You can still love people without following every choice they make. You can still be kind without giving everyone unlimited access to your time. Your dream needs space, and sometimes space is created by saying no. But there is something else Daniel must learn. He cannot build everything alone. The 10th turning point arrives when he finds a teacher who has already walked the road he wants to travel. The teacher does not promise easy success. Instead, he points out Daniel's mistakes. At first, Daniel feels uncomfortable. He wants praise, not correction. But slowly he understands that useful criticism is a gift. Someone who honestly shows you where you can improve may help you more than someone who only tells you that everything is perfect. Daniel begins asking better questions. What am I doing wrong? What should I practice more? What can I simplify? What mistake can I avoid next time? This changes his learning speed. Find people who challenge you with respect. Learn from books, teachers, experienced creators, and people who have already achieved something you want to understand. You do not have to copy their lives. Learn the lesson, then create your own path. Now comes another important turning point. Daniel discovers that gratitude and ambition can exist together. Before, he believed he had to hate his current life to build a better one. He thought being dissatisfied would keep him hungry. Instead, it made him miserable. So he begins appreciating what is already working: his family, his health, his small room, his ability to learn, his chance to start again, his ordinary meals, His quiet mornings, he still wants more, but he no longer believes that more is the only thing that can make him happy. This changes his energy. He works because he is grateful for the opportunity, not because he hates where he is. That is the 11th turning point. Build your future without rejecting your present. You can want a better job and still appreciate the job you have. You can want more money and still be thankful for what you earn. You can dream about another country while appreciating the place that raised you. Gratitude does not kill ambition. It makes ambition healthier. Then life tests Daniel. His first business idea fails. He spends weeks working on it, but almost nobody buys. For a moment, the old voice returns. See, you were never good enough. This is the moment where many people quit, but Daniel remembers something important. A failed plan is not a failed person. So he studies what happened. He asks customers for feedback. He changes his offer. He improves his skill. He tries again. This becomes the 12th turning point. He stops treating failure as an enemy and starts treating it as information. You should do the same. When something fails, pause before judging yourself. Ask what it taught you. Maybe your timing was wrong. Maybe your method was weak. Maybe you need more practice. Maybe the goal needs a new strategy. Learn, adjust, and continue. Months later, Daniel notices something strange. People begin asking him for advice. The same person who once felt lost is now helping beginners avoid mistakes. He realizes that his struggle was not wasted. Every difficult day gave him a lesson he can now share. This becomes another turning point. Your experience can become someone else's hope. Your story does not have to be perfect to be valuable. You do not need to wait until you become a superstar before encouraging someone. If you are one step ahead, you can help someone who is one step behind. And perhaps one day, someone will tell you, your story helped me continue. That sentence may become more valuable than any number on a screen. So keep going, my friend. Your small actions are creating a future you cannot fully see yet. The chapter of your life that feels confusing today may become the exact chapter someone else needs tomorrow. The 13th turning point comes when Daniel finally understands that his dream is not only about what he can receive, but also about what he can give. For a long time, he thought success meant reaching a place where nobody could tell him what to do. Now he sees something deeper. Real success is having enough strength, wisdom, and freedom to make someone else's journey easier. He remembers the days when he felt confused, afraid, and alone. He remembers searching for answers late at night and wondering if his life would ever change. Now he can become the person he once needed. This changes the way he works. He no longer asks only, how can I win? He asks, how can I create value? That question opens a completely different door. When you create value, people notice. When you solve problems, opportunities appear. When you help people, trust grows. When you become useful, your skills become more valuable. Your dream should not only make your life better, it should make you capable of making life better for others. Then another test arrives. Daniel receives an opportunity that could give him quick money, but it would require him to abandon everything he believes in. The offer looks attractive. The number on the screen is much larger than anything he has earned before. His friends tell him to accept immediately, but Daniel pauses. He remembers why he started. He wanted freedom, not another cage. He wanted meaningful work, not another situation where money controlled every decision. This becomes the 14th turning point. He learns that not every opportunity is the right opportunity. Some doors are shiny, but lead nowhere. Some offers look like success, but quietly steal your peace. You must learn to ask, what will this cost me beyond money? Will it cost your health, your values, your relationships, your time, your peace, your identity? If the price is too high, walking away can be a form of winning. Daniel politely refuses the offer. For a few days, he wonders if he made a terrible mistake, but then something unexpected happens. A week later, someone contacts him about a smaller opportunity that matches his skills and values. It pays less at first, but it gives him freedom to continue building his own work. He accepts. Slowly, that small opportunity grows, and this teaches him something powerful. Sometimes the right path does not look impressive in the beginning. It simply feels right. Never judge your beginning by someone else's middle. Your small start can become something powerful if you protect it long enough to grow. Months continue to pass. Daniel still has difficult days. He still doubts himself sometimes. He still makes mistakes. But now he knows how to respond. When fear appears, he takes one step. When failure appears, he studies it. When comparison appears, he returns to his own path. When distraction appears, he remembers his purpose. When success appears, he stays humble. And when life becomes difficult, he does not immediately assume that everything is going wrong. He asks, "What is this season teaching me?" That question changes everything. The final turning point comes quietly. One morning, Daniel wakes up and realizes he is no longer chasing the person he wanted to become. He has already become someone different. Not perfect, not famous, not finished, but stronger, more disciplined, more peaceful, more confident. He looks at an old picture of himself and remembers the person who once spent hours watching other people's lives while wondering why his own was not changing. He almost smiles. That person was not weak. He simply needed to wake up. And maybe that is where you are today. Maybe you are not lazy. Maybe you are not hopeless. Maybe you have simply been giving your attention to everything except the life you truly want. So take it back. Take back your mornings. Take back your focus. Take back your choices. Take back your confidence. Take back the dreams you abandoned because someone laughed at them. You do not need to prove your future to anyone today. You only need to take responsibility for your next step. If your dream is to learn English, practice one sentence today. If your dream is to build a business, learn one useful skill today. If your dream is to become healthier, move your body today. If your dream is to create content, publish something today. If your dream is to become financially stronger, control one unnecessary expense today. Do not make your dream so huge that you become afraid to begin. Break it into actions small enough to complete and important enough to matter. One day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. 1 month becomes a year. Then you look back and realize that the person you wanted to become was being created quietly every single day. And now I want you to imagine something. Imagine yourself 5 years from today. That future person is standing in front of you. They know everything you will experience between now and then. They know the nights you will feel tired. They know the opportunities you will miss. They know the people who will leave. They know the moments when you will want to quit. But they also know the victories waiting for you. They know the confidence you will build. They know the skills you will learn. They know the people you will meet. They know the opportunities that will appear because you kept going. And that future version of you is asking one simple question. Will you please start? Not tomorrow, not next month, today, because your future cannot be built by wishing. It is built by decisions. Your dream life is not one giant miracle waiting somewhere in the distance. It is hidden inside the small choices you make when nobody is watching. Choose courage. Choose discipline. Choose learning. Choose patience. Choose yourself. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you can control what you do next. That is enough to begin. So when this video ends, do not simply feel inspired for 10 minutes and then return to the same habits. Turn inspiration into action. Write down one dream. Write down one reason it matters. Write down one action you will take before tomorrow. Then do it. Let that be your new beginning. You do not need to become someone else. You need to become more fully yourself. The world does not need another copy. It needs your voice, your ideas, your effort, and your story. Maybe your journey will be slow. Keep going. Maybe nobody notices at first. Keep building. Maybe people laugh. Keep learning. Maybe you fail. Begin again. Because one day, the same people who saw your struggle may see your strength. But more importantly, you will see it too. You will know that you kept a promise to yourself. And that is one of the greatest victories a person can have. So, my friend, this is your moment. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are ready to move. Your past is information, not a prison. Your mistakes are lessons, not your identity. Your fear is a feeling, not a command. Your dream is a direction, not a deadline. Walk toward it one step at a time. Build quietly. Learn daily. Protect your peace. Help others. Believe again. And when the road becomes difficult, remember Daniel's story. He did not change his life in one day. He changed his direction in one day, and then he repeated that choice until his life changed. You can do the same. Start where you are, use what you have, learn what you need, take the next step. Your future self is waiting, not for perfection, but for your decision. Make that decision today. And years from now, when you look back, you may realize that this ordinary day was actually the day everything began.